Yeshua, please help me find a job. Yeshua, please heal my wrists because I need to use them to look for a job. Alright, so stream starting soon. It has been like 9 months since I have streamed my poetry. In fact, what I forgot to do, I'm going to go ahead and go to my channel, update my biography, I suppose it would be called. So customize channel. And at the top it says I write and read poetry, currently not streaming live. I write and read poetry live. Let's go ahead, oops. Put some exclamation point emojis. I'm going to capitalize live. Another emoji. And a mic and a chat. All right. Let's publish it. View channel. So now that it's updated, I noticed I got a couple subscribers and whatnot, so that's really cool. And I'm going to do this new Twitch thing. Does like stories and whatnot. And then I'll do a YouTube. So let's see, my story. Video. Writing, reading, and chatting live. It's been some time since I've done poetry, but I thought I'd give it a shot today. And then what? You just upload it. Posting story. All right. Move on to YouTube and do the same thing. Writing, reading, and chatting poetry live. Mechanical poetry, that is. That should suffice. Do a title for my short. Writing, reading, and chatting. Mechanical poetry live. Exclamation point. It said riding as in riding a horse, so let's change that. All right. We'll upload this short. And while that is down or uploading, I'm going to go ahead and check how YouTube is doing. It always typically says that it's fine. All right, so YouTube says the audio suggestion, which is never the case. My mic says it's fine. YouTube says it's got an excellent connection. Let's check out Twitch. Twitch always says it's unstable, which it says that it's unstable, but that's okay. All right. So now that those are good, I'm going to edit my YouTube short. Yeah, it's cool. Like I am close to 200 subscribers on YouTube, and for most people, they'd be like, "Are you kidding? That's a joke." But I'm just like I've been on YouTube for 10 years, and I've never made it to 200 subscribers, so that's kind of cool to me. All right, so YouTube Studio, go to my short, edit, add description, writing, reading, and chatting, mechanical poetry live, exclamation point. Then we'll go to tags, but I guess we'll leave it at entertainment because there's no writing. People in blogs, I suppose I could do instead of entertainment. Add some tags, creative writing, creative live stream, commentary or chat, poetry, poems, and creative writing. It'd be nice if somebody chatted today. Chatting stream. What else? Poems. Alright, that will suffice. So I got Twitch notified, YouTube notified. Yeah. I do have a poem that I started writing so long ago that I haven't finished, so I'll probably touch up on that. I don't know for sure if I'll be able to finish it, but I'm going to turn that on just a little bit. All right. So this is my stream starting soon. I typically don't have the words on the screen saying stream starting soon, but I will start in a minute. I'll get a poem ready. I don't think it, yeah, I guess I could just do, where's my poem? Uh, there it is. There's my untitled. I don't have a title for this poem, but I will start with this and go from there. Do we got anybody watching? The chat is open and available. However, when I'm reading poetry, I won't be looking at chat. I will look at the chat after I read the poem and respond, because kind of defeats the purpose of, reading it and then stopping what I'm doing and read the chat and then going back to the poem. So when I'm reading a poem, please be patient. I'll respond to your comment after I read the poem in its entirety. It'd be nice to get my because I've tried to read my poem, the best poem ever, under a minute so I could put it as a YouTube short, but it's a decently long poem and it's kind of hard to do. All right, so it's 11 o'clock. Gonna switch on over. So this is the poem I've been working on. I don't have a title for it. Focus on the present and forgive your past. Tired of jumping in the hole. Excuse me, darling. Willingly jumping in the hole. It's dangerous as fuck, yet you still jump. Very much aware of the situation. Continuing with the wrong decisions. I am out of ideas. I should be in control of these hands. I want to not want to. I need this to be done. Whatever it is I'm writing about, sorrow and psychological harm, I need to work it out. Should I make myself a to-do list? Make sure I write everything down? So that's all I got. And honestly, as it stands, this poem is not that good. But it was like me tired of, you know, jumping in the hole, like doing the same things that are destroying me, like smoking cigarettes, thinking bad thoughts about myself, wanting to harm myself, like thinking about ending my life because it'd be so much easier to just die than find a job and try to live off the shit pay that they're going to pay me because apparently you can't live on your own. Like, I have no idea. My wife and I are getting a divorce. Um, she expects me out within like 7 months, 8 months. We're going to try not to go through the lawyers and whatnot. However, if she tries to, force me out this summer and I don't have a good enough job to live out on my own, like I'm going to go through a lawyer more than likely and get child support. I've looked into it, and if some if one person makes a lot more money than the other person, then that person is supposed to pay the other person child support. And I don't want money from her. I don't. But if she wants to kick me out, like she would basically have to go through a lawyer, and then I would have to hire a lawyer anyways. So on that note, let's bring a happier poem in the mix. Yeah, an oldie but goodie. I've read this on my live streams many a times. It is titled 100 Words. If it is that you are slow, read the rhyme Mother Told You So. Can't imagine what this really means. Feminists will make you wear things. Pants, jock strap. Who is waiting for the bitch slap? If it is that I am slow, read me the rhyme my mother wrote. Laugh with everyone, done with their dirt, and where'd I come from? Keep it. You are entitled. Eat my buttered bread. If it is that they are slow, read them the rhyme from this poem. If it is that you are insane, you'd have counted the words on this page. And there's exactly 100 words in this poem. That's why I titled it 100 Words. This poem came about from ramblings I found on my computer, and I kind of put them together and made it sound kind of interesting and fun. I think it's not too bad of a poem. Eat my buttered bread is just, I suppose, added text. I had to get to 100 words. Well, I don't actually remember if I was thinking it needs to be 100 words or not. So, I don't know. But yeah, the chat is open if anybody's watching. I do not have a way of knowing if anybody's watching unless I check my phone, or if I check on Twitch. Twitch says somebody's watching. And then YouTube. YouTube says nobody is watching. So let's go ahead and read another poem as opposed to going to my poem that I'm working on. My Drive, Google Photos, let's see. Uploaded poetry. Let's read this. I wrote this poem when I made it a year sober. I currently drink alcohol now, but I was sober for like, I think 7 years. Maybe it was more than 6 years, but I don't remember exactly. I quit drinking actually soon after I started my YouTube channel. My wife and I got in a big fight, and I was really scared of her divorcing me at that time. That has long since changed. Like, I didn't inform her that I've wanted a divorce for probably like 5 years now, and just been pretending that, this relationship could still work because I wanted to wait till both my daughters were of the age of 14 so they could choose what parent they want to live with, because I didn't want to go to the lawyers and fight for custody of my children. I thought she was going to throw all that stuff in my face, like he was an alcoholic, he smokes marijuana, blah blah blah. Even though marijuana is legal where I am, I'm currently not smoking marijuana at the time because I'm looking for a job and I want to pass a drug test. And when I start my job, I want to retain as much information I can. When you smoke marijuana, like, short-term memory is not, it's not at your best, So I'll go ahead and read this poem. I think it's titled 365 Days Without Beer. Even though I drink hard alcohol and wine, but beer is my all-time favorite, to be honest. Another day in a new year. More than 365 days without beer. 365 times the sun circled the earth. You heard me right. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I don't believe Earth travels around the sun. Go ahead and make me your fun. I am a man. Men don't cry. Believe in their bullshit. I would rather go blind. Don't mind my blank stare. I'll let you know if and when I'll care. Oh yeah, this was at a time when at the end of the poem I would have this look on the screen that says, "Thank you, you made it to the end of this poem." And then I would kind of have some thoughts on the poem and just be like, yeah, thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. But yeah, this was a year. So that means late. Yeah, because I started this YouTube channel, I think late 2015. It was the winter of 2015. Yeah. And then I was sober, I believe, for 6 years. No alcohol, nothing. I was still smoking cigarettes on and off because I have literally been trying to quit smoking cigarettes for like 20 years now. I started smoking cigarettes right before I turned 18. And I have literally been trying to quit. And the longest I've ever made it was a year. And that was when I was like 20, I think I was 20 years old. Then I had a cigarette on New Year's Eve. And then I went another year without cigarettes. And then I think the longest I've made it is like 6 months, 7 months without cigarettes. All right, I'm gonna go back to the poem I'm working on because I do want to eventually. There it is. I do want to finish this, so focus on the present and forgive your past. Tired of jumping in the hole, excuse me, darling. Willingly jumping in the hole. It's dangerous as fuck, yet you still jump. very much aware of the situation, continuing with the wrong decisions. I'm out of ideas. I should be in control of these hands. I want to not want to. I need this to be done. Whatever it is I'm writing about, sorrow and psychological harm, I need to work it out. Should I make myself a to-do list? Make sure I write everything down? So that's all I got, and it's not very good. I mean, I suppose I could just abandon this poem. I've done that a couple times in my writing ever since I started writing, where I'm just like, this is garbage, it's going nowhere, gone, you know? However, it does mean something to me. I just don't know how to go about whatever. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read next is the most recent poem that I put on YouTube, which is close to like being, I think it's at 10 months. Let me take a look, because I believe let's see, content, and okay, so 9 months ago I wrote this. That's quite a while ago. All right, so search. It's easy, it's just a search. I remember it's titled Nothing Do Something. There it is. All right, it's titled Nothing to Something. I am important and worthy of love. I want to be happy and change how I think. Processing my life, putting the pieces together. What happens if I think that way forever? Will you end it? You know what you are talking about. If you read that sentence a certain way, it doesn't sound like doubt. Alas, I do have one concern. When do I fully stop to learn? Love thyself? But what does that really mean? That would definitely be one of many things. Like having a lot of sweet, sweet cash. Sunbathing, brandishing my ass. Things that make me happy, just to list a few. Thoughts are processing, you have shit to do. What is it that really makes you happy? Love, of course, but let's not get too sappy. That is not too bad. This poem isn't supposed to be sad. I used to think I was nothing. All the while I am something. So yeah, that's a more happy poem. Most definitely. I'm going to put in the chat it up. Because I don't currently know if anybody's watching. But yeah, you are more than welcome to chat it up if you'd like. Let's see. What could I read? Or should I just go into my poem that I'm working on? So I know I like the beginning, focus on the present and forgive your past. Because I do. I need to forgive my past, what I've done to people, what I've said and thought about myself. Because I'm literally tired of jumping in the hole. Excuse me, darling. Willingly jumping in the hole. Like, I'm willingly jumping in the hole. Like, I know it's not good for me. Like, it's dangerous as fuck. You still jump. Very much aware of the situation. Continuing with the wrong decisions. I'm literally out of ideas. I should be in control of these hands. I want to not want to. I need this to be done. Whatever it is I'm writing about, sorrow and psychological harm, I need to work it out. Should I make myself a to-do list? Make sure I write everything down? See, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go with this poem. Suppose that's not a bad thing. Well, it's bad if I ever want to finish this poem. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read another poem. I'm going to read this one. It's a more recent poem that I've uploaded to YouTube. And it is titled, What the Fuck? How do is short for how do you do? Being okay might be sane. Okay is not always enough. Fine and dandy. What the fuck? It has all been said and done. Every word I write has been written. Okay is not always okay. Okay is not enough. Just peachy. What the fuck? Y'all is short for you all. Stress less. Easier said than done. Every word I wrote wasn't exactly fun. When will I be okay? When will I be enough? When pigs fly, what the fuck? So yeah, that was a little bit more of an angry poem, to be honest. I see a therapist once a week. Every Wednesday, I spend $240 a month to be able to talk to somebody about my problems and how I think, and it's actually worth it, because you would think in the past I would have been able to go to my wife, but no. It's like talking to a brick wall. Like every word just goes nowhere, doesn't process, doesn't register. Just like I realized that talking to this woman about my problems is ridiculous. Like I was even told multiple times, like, I don't want to hear it, like I don't want to hear you. So the love and support ended a long time ago. And what you gonna do? That the percentage rate of divorce is really high. I actually don't even know if I believe in love anymore. Like I believe in love, parents to their children, right? A love for your children, children to their parents. Like I love my parents, I love my children. I would die for my children. Like I believe in that love, but when it comes to love between partners, I don't know if I believe in that anymore. I believe in infatuation. So let's go ahead and get the definition. Infatuated. Infatuation. Define. So, an intense but short lived passion or admiration for someone or something. So, and it's true, I had an intense, but it was short lived passion or admiration. And I knew things were not how they should be even before my second daughter was born. So it's like we had a couple good years, but then no, just like it changed. Everything just changed. Yeah, so I think when people get together, they run on that infatuation. I think that people that last in a marriage, they actually have something in common. They can do things together. They agree with each other, like their beliefs kind of align more than less. Like I was not married to somebody like that. We had very different opinions and perspective and reality in life and how we should raise our children, abortion, like huge differences in what we would both consider our reality, because that's basically what people believe in, is like, this is my reality, that's your reality. So we just had very different perspectives of our own reality. And oh, there's another definition over here from Wikipedia. Infatuation, also known as being smitten, is the personal state of being overly driven by an uninformed or otherwise unreasonable passion, usually towards another person for whom one has developed. And it goes on. So honestly, it's like infatuation is the only reason why kids come to be, is like you're infatuated with that person, you want to have sex with that person, and then if you don't have much in common, your realities don't line up, you can't be friends, like that's gonna go away, like it's gonna be gone because it's a short-lived, you know. And that's what it was for me. Like, I don't even know if I was in love with that woman, and I haven't told her that, because for the longest time I was just like, I did love her, I did love her, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, maybe I was just infatuated with her, the way she made me feel, because I was a very depressed person. Like, I thought I was a piece of garbage. Like I wanted to kill myself. I thought I had no reason to live. Like, I could even show you one of my poems I titled Loser, and that's literally how I felt. So let's go ahead and read that poem. I mean, it's kind of, oops, it's kind of written, when I read it on YouTube, I read it kind of funny so it wouldn't be so depressing or whatever. So I said, warning, this poem is sad. And I have that tattoo on my back. And that used to be my depiction. I just saw death like I wanted to die. So it's titled Loser, and I read it in a weird way, so I suppose I could read it in that way as well. Nah, I don't want to. I'm a loser, that's what they say, fading through life like night and day. I consume your food and waste oxygen, melodically defecating noise and toxin. Paid them money to take my mouth, sewing it shut by north of south. Hate who it is they want me to be, my smile defined under fallacy. Enjoy what it is that makes me your fun. Just pull the trigger, had enough, I'm done. So I'm obviously talking about just pulling the trigger and just blowing my brains out and whatever. But yeah, still working on that, because it's occasionally where I literally think about buying a shotgun and just blowing my brains out, because that would be so much easier than dealing with what life has to offer. I mean, if I had $1 million, like if I won the lottery and I could buy a house and all I'd have to pay for is like the other expenses of life, but if I didn't have to pay like $1,500 to live wherever I am living, and all I have is like grocery expenses, car insurance, cell phone, internet service provider, food, if that's the only thing I had to pay for, I could probably do that with just a normal job, like a normal 40 hours a week, 25 bucks an hour, $20 an hour. That would more than likely be fine. I'd be able to accomplish that. But like, since I'm gonna have to do all of that and pay for where I live, I just have dread, just like immense dread, that I'm not gonna be able to do that and I'm gonna end up homeless. So honestly, the only way my wife is going to be able to kick me out of the house is if she hires a lawyer and we get a divorce and do it that way. But I'm hoping she doesn't want to do that, because I'd like to find a good enough job to where I can live where I live, and possibly buy a trailer, because trailers aren't that expensive. Like lot rent is like just under $1,000. You own the house, but you have to pay for the ground that you live on. And then there's probably doesn't probably count for electricity or heat. You'd have to pay that. I probably won't have a cell phone at that period of time. If I can afford an internet service provider, I will do that. But if I can't, then my YouTube channel is obsolete. Same with streaming, just like if I can't afford an internet service provider, because I'd like an internet service provider to use Wi-Fi calling, because I know I'm not going to be able to afford an internet service provider and a cell phone carrier. It's just not going to be possible. And like, I'm not going to be able to have as many snacks, like candy, because I like chocolate, I like salty stuff. So it's basically going to be like food. And I can already see that I'm going to be eating maybe one meal, 2 meals a day. Like, I'm not even going to be able to afford to eat 3 times a day. It's going to be probably like eat once a day and just fucking suffer because I don't have the money. I even had the thought of just like not getting car insurance, just if I get pulled over, just be like, I cannot afford car insurance. I'm literally telling you the truth. I have money to live somewhere. I have money to have food for me and my children, and sorry, can't afford car insurance. Which that's illegal. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Hold on, let me see. Car insurance in okay, so that just brought me here. Have some car insurance. I want to know. I guess I'll search a different way. Do you have to have insurance? I'm pretty sure it's illegal to drive around without car insurance. Yeah, I'm not getting an answer. Let's do that. Yes, Colorado law requires all drivers to carry car insurance at minimum liability coverage. The mandatory car insurance. Yeah, so if I can't afford car insurance and I get pulled over and tell the officer, just like, I can't afford it. I literally can afford to live somewhere, eat something, pay for electricity and heat. Like, can't afford it. We'll see. I've got maybe a year before she probably starts to freak out and say, you need to get the heck out of this house. I mean, I don't know why I would be that much of a bother. I don't bother her. I stay in my room in the basement. I leave her alone. I do the dishes all the time. I do my chores. I do have a part-time job. I do bring in some money, but that is not going to be, this job that I have is not going to be able for me to move out. So I'm looking for a full-time job. So, all right, I'm going to read another poem. It's a poem I wrote not too long ago. Well, actually, it's probably like a year now, but I titled it Shitty Poem. I cannot remember. I say that a lot. I don't like to think my own thoughts. They never stop. Please tell me what to think and say. Tired would rather be a robot today. Artificial intelligence make it go away. Again, I don't want to think anymore. I see an exit sign, would rather walk out the door. So I don't have to think about this shitty poem anymore. So yeah, I titled it Shitty Poem because it's not that good. But I mean, it does have meaning. It's kind of depressing. And it's true. Like, I think all the time it keeps me up. Like, I wake up throughout the night. Sometimes I have dreams that I manifest from the previous thoughts that I had before I go to bed. Like, yeah, it'd be nice if you could just have an off switch of thoughts and you don't think about stress or, stuff like that. It'd be nice to just be like, oh, turn off. You're in stressless mode and you don't think about anything but happy thoughts. Like, I don't have health insurance. I can't go to a dentist. I can tell my teeth are fucked up. I floss, I brush. I've been eating less candy because I know like milk and chocolate and sugar is horrid for your teeth. So I've been trying to do a lot better to not fuck my teeth up even more. But yeah, my goodness. Yeah, I don't think I will be getting the other poem done. If there's anybody watching and you wanted to help me out, let's go through it again. So focus on the present and forgive your past. Tired of jumping in the hole? Excuse me, darling, willingly jumping in the hole. It's dangerous as fuck, yet you still jump. Very much aware of the situation, continuing with the wrong decisions. I am out of ideas. I should be in control of these hands. I want to not want to. I need this to be done. Whatever it is I'm writing about, sorrow and psychological harm, I need to work it out. Should I make myself a to-do list? Make sure I write everything down? I could use the word frown to rhyme with down. Exterminate each and every frown. Assassinate each and every frown. No, I don't know. I suppose I could just abandon this poem. The first poem I put on YouTube was titled Linguistic Lout, and that's going to be like my 10th year anniversary. I wonder if I could work on rewriting that and reading that and uploading it to YouTube. Because I don't remember when it was. I suppose I could look real quick. So let's see. Go to studio, content, videos, filter. I'd have to scroll to the very bottom. Maybe I can just search it. Okay, so I released that November 14th, 2015. Let's go ahead and play that.
Hey, it's Machine. I'm going to read you a poem without the video this time. It's titled Linguistic Lout. To you, what is it I am? Skeptic, hollow, definition, sham? You've done your research. I am man. In between and in your teeth. Gnaw, bite, chew, eat. Insignificant existence. Opinion. Suggestions, please. I will wait for minds to ease. I will be your linguistic lout. Make sure I cry and pout. Exactly who you want me to be. Trained and on my knees.
Yeah. That's such a good poem to. It sounds good. It's depressing though, because I'm obviously talking about myself in insignificant existence. And then I'm like, opinion? Suggestions, please. I don't know. But yeah, so I would have to get that done by November 14th for it to be 10 years. And then I did write while I was an alcoholic at the time. I would come home from work. I used to work the late shift and I would drink me some alcohol and do takes and record poetry and upload it to YouTube. And I think I did that for a little bit. I think it was late December of 2015. It could have been January. And I remember my wife saying, are you trying to quit again?" Cuz she noticed that I haven't been drinking. And I just was like, I don't know. I think it was like 2 weeks into not drinking and she's like, "Are you trying to quit again or something?" With, that tone of like, I don't believe you're actually going to do it. I honestly think the whole time I was sober, which was like 6 years, I think in her back of, oh, he's going to start drinking again. Which I did end up drinking again, but I don't drink like I used to. I used to drink every time I got home from work at like 7 o'clock, and I'd wake up from my shit nap because I never actually slept. I just basically took a nap. Got my kids from school, walked them home because we lived. Well, my second daughter, she didn't go to school at the time. Like I actually quit drinking alcohol before she even started going to school. But my first daughter, I'd go walk to the school and we'd walk home. I'd watch them. And then like before dinner time, I'd have me a couple drinks. I'd eat dinner and then I would take me another nap before I had to go to work again at 11 o'clock at night. So I used to drink twice a day, like every day. The weekends I'd drink at night. I'd wake up, sometimes have some drinks at noon. It didn't matter to me. My dad would call me a functioning alcoholic. So, which is sort of it's not really well, it's like an insult and like you're an alcoholic, but you know how to do you do what you got to do. I don't know. Back then I was afraid of her divorcing me because what I thought was love, because I still cared for her, I still loved her, whatever I thought love was at the time, which I actually don't believe in anymore. I mean, it's fine if other people want to believe in love, but like, I don't know if I honestly experienced love. I think it was possibly just infatuation. I absolutely loved the way I felt because she made me feel great. She made me feel worthy of love. Um, yeah. But then my alcoholism got pretty bad. I could tell we fought more, we were more distant, we didn't have sex as much, and in my opinion, she never forgave me. I had one chance and I never got a second chance. It was basically, you fucked up. I don't love you anymore. And I think at that time she made her decision and she wanted to wait and, be a family for as long as we could. Whereas I was hoping things would get better, but they never did. As time went by, we just kept, we just further and further apart. So that's fine. All right, I suppose I could read another poem. I could try to read a happy poem. Let's see, what's a happy poem? Because I definitely have more sad poems than happy or whatever. Let's see. Dun. This one's fun. I don't know if it's happy, but it's a good poem in my opinion. I think it's fantastic. I titled this one Second Dead. No one can tell you what to do no one can tell you what to do so long as you know death may come too. Fixated on these words at the moment, I see it played out in my head. 1 second alive, second dead. Am I afraid of death? Or am I afraid of not knowing what to expect? Sorry, not sorry, some say there's nothing or no reason to hold regret. Our own self and well-being we celebrate instead. I'll pause for applause if any on my way out. People really enjoy my poetry, that I sincerely doubt. Yeah, it's not happy though. That's a little bit of the reason why I started streaming on Twitch. It had to have been like more than 2 years ago. It's because I didn't really care about my poetry anymore, and I just wanted to play games and talk to people and people to talk to me. And sometimes people would talk, most of the time people wouldn't. Like right now, like nobody's chatting. Just talking to myself. Oh, this one. No, let's not do another sad one. Let's try to find one that's happy. Let's happy. Okay, yeah, the best poem ever. That's a happy one. It's more funny than happy, I suppose. I suppose I could try to read it in under 60 seconds, but I highly doubt it. But we'll check what time I got. So I'm at 53 minutes into the stream, about 53:10. So take a deep breath. No, let's take a deep breath now. No, let's do now. Title best poem ever. I will be writing the best poem ever. Of course I'm being sarcastic because that would be quite the endeavor. However, I might be able to write the best poem. See, I fucked up already. I don't want any fuck ups. I want it to be clean, read well. I will be writing the best poem ever. Of course I'm being sarcastic because that would be quite the endeavor. However, I might be able to write the best poem ever should I start writing now. This supposedly superior poem I will write could be about an owl. That is and was, therefore it's a joke. The best poem ever might just pause for suspense. Also, I didn't want to rhyme the word you might have thought I would. The best poem ever would make more sense. Or offend someone and rhyme, joke with the word smoke, toke, poke, choke, pope. The list could go on and on. But I'm not going to list them all and I don't have time. I want to write the best poem ever and it apparently cannot rhyme. Define. Identity and sound of some part, especially the end of words or lines of verse. Dictionary.com. Do you see what I am saying, or are you reading what I'm writing? Better yet, you hear what I have to say, that is, that this is, or very well could be, the best poem ever, and by extension, makes this an ironic day. because you might make it to the end of the worst poem ever made. See, that's going to be extremely hard to read that in 60 seconds. I highly doubt that I did at that point. Plus, I screwed it up. Every time I've tried to do this, I either don't read it in time if it's clean and it sounds good and I didn't make any mess ups, or I screw it up and mess up some words and whatever. So maybe I'll get there eventually. Maybe I will, because I do want to start streaming my poetry again. I was going to do it this Saturday, but I did not. I was going to do it Sunday, but I did not. But if I keep streaming every Saturday, I'm going to choose 4 p.m. Mountain Time. That I used to do 11 a.m. Mountain Time. That's when I started today. But if I do it every single Saturday, 4 p.m., and read that poem at least once or twice to get under 60 seconds, because YouTube adds a second, so you can't have 60 seconds. It's got to be like 58, 59 seconds. And if I can't read it in like 58 seconds, then it can't be a short. I heard YouTube was eventually going to allow you to do more than a minute, but I don't think so. That's interesting. I got an email saying somebody followed me on Twitch. However, on OBS, I did not get that notification, and that's what that's why I have it right here. So thank you very much. Let me go to my Gmail because I got an email about it. That's very frustrating. You have this tab over here, and I have all these other follows on Twitch that said somebody followed me, and I was like, oh, thank you. But like, I have noticed that it is not doing that anymore. Or at least not that I can tell. So Ash Tukol. Ash Tukol. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Are you watching, Ash? Can I call you Ash for short? Because most definitely, that's why I have that. The activity feed from OBS. I'm using Stream Elements to go to Twitch and YouTube. It doesn't show me if anybody's watching. I'd have to either check my phone or whatever, but typically it would pop up saying this person's following you. And I think it did it on YouTube once, and that has since disappeared. So thank you, Ash, if I can call you Ash, and that's cool. All right, so I'll read another poem. Let's try to find another funny one. Or this one. This one's kind of interesting. It has to do with circumcision. I don't think it's funny, but... Alright, so I titled this one Circumcised. There's something I would like to say without picture depiction. Why was I circumcised? My penis, not yours. Choice for, not against. My foreskin, sentenced. Carved, curved, no, not straight. Why did my dick face this fate? With much thinking, I only count 3 choices that I do not own. Birth and circumcision, third, being if I die alone. Because if you really think about it, you don't get a choice to be born. You're born without a choice. If your parents decide not to circumcise you as a young child or a baby, because I think it's typically done right after you're born, and then in some cases when you're a child before you go through puberty, and then you technically don't have a choice whether you die alone or not, because you could die in a car accident and snap, lights out. You know, typically you're alone in the car with, sometimes you're driving with somebody. you could be on your deathbed and have no friends or family that are alive at that time. Like, you don't really have a choice. I mean, if you wanted to die not alone, I suppose you could take your own life, just jump in a room with a whole bunch of people in there and be like, okay, I'm not alone. Blam. You know? Sorry to laugh at that, but it's like, I mean, that would be a way to not die alone. I mean, that would be devastating to the people that were in that room. They're like, why did this person just do that? So, three choices, I suppose. Well, I guess you don't have a choice of your sex. Like, if you're male or female, you don't really get a choice on that. I didn't think about that at the time when I was writing this poem, so I don't know. All right, typically I stream for an hour when I'm writing and reading my poetry. I did not write anything on my new poem. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. What was it? Frown. So I said, should I make myself a to-do list? Make sure I write everything down. Bite my tongue and eliminate each and every frown. Yeah, let's see about that. Let's copy or duplicate and then say bite my tongue and eliminate every frown. Ash, what's up? Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll chat with you for 10 minutes. Let me get this in here and see if it sounds any good. You let me know. So bite my tongue and eliminate each and every frown. Or I'll just say eliminate. Eliminate. And every frown. Yeah, sure. Are you on Twitch? I can follow you and check out your stuff on Twitch. Or are you on YouTube? Do you have your stuff on YouTube? You just okay. Yeah, okay, well, cool. Yeah, write it down. That's happened once before, like somebody shared their poem. Google Docs. Put in Google Docs. More lyrics rather than a poem. Okay. Why don't you just put it in the chat? That way I'll just read it that way because I don't know how I'd get it through. Because forgive me, I don't feel comfortable giving out my email address or and I don't give out my Discord. Oh, it's too long. Gotcha. Well, how about this? I'm probably going to be doing Saturdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. That's kind of the time I was thinking would be a good time to read and write poetry. If you wanted to jump on, and then we'd have a whole hour for you to like share what you got, and that'd be kind of cool. Because that's happened once before where somebody shared their poetry through the chat and whatnot. I don't know how many characters Twitch gives you for a chat. I don't know. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and read this last sentence and see how well it Let's just go back a couple. Oh, it's a link. Is it gonna be safe? I don't know if I have links available. I think if somebody puts a link in the chat, like it blocks the chat possibly. You can share it, and I don't know if it will show up because I think I have links turned off to where if somebody adds a link or something. Sorrow and psychological harm, I need to work it out. Should I make myself a to-do list? Make sure I write everything down. Bite my tongue, eliminate each and every frown. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, it doesn't show. I think I have links turned off so people can't just add a whole bunch of links or whatever. But I tell you what, next Saturday, 4 p.m., it is noon where I live. So if that helps with the timing of where you live, it'd be like 4 hours from the time that it is now, is when I'm going to do my Saturday streams and write and read poetry. That'd be cool. I appreciate you chatting. I could read one more poem for you because I got a couple minutes, and my poems typically aren't very long. So let's see. Let's go ahead and let's check out this one. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this one I titled Confidence. Confidence. When someone says you just need some confidence, they're telling you in a nice way to grow a pair. If you don't know what I'm talking about balls. What if you only have one testy? Are you half a man or not a man at all? Had two, but you're down to one. Ball. I was reading the definition for the word confidence and had some thoughts. Why not just have confidence in God, our creator who loves us no matter what? Bam! What we feel about ourselves should not matter. All things are possible with God, our light, our truth, our all. Why is the world always telling me to grow a pair of mankind's metaphorical balls? So yeah, that one I wrote probably a long time ago. I think it probably had a little bit to do with my wife always telling me to get some confidence or some crap. But whatever. Yeah, I could probably read one more poem. My poems are short, so I'll just pick a random one. Let's see. How about this one? I like this one. I think it's pretty cool. All right, it is titled Everyone Matters. It is really as simple as that. The title of the poem says it all. Everyone you know, whoever they know, celebrities, kings, queens, fiends, drug addicts, alcoholics, women that have abortions, murderers, rich people with more than one home, the homeless, the list doesn't stop. Because everyone is on the list. I understand not everyone knows this truth, and yes, there will always be people that hate. Hate is of many. Love is of many more. And that's like a saying I've been saying since I was a teenager to help me psychologically with the world and how people treat each other. Like, there's hate in this world, there is no doubt. But my reality is there's more love than hate. There's more people with compassion. There's more people that love and care about you. I just have to believe that. I have to have that as my reality because I couldn't be in a world if that is my reality where there's more hatred than love. I think I would not want to live in this world if that was my reality. So that stuck with me for like probably close to 30 years, just standing firm on my reality that there is more love than there is hate. Well, thank you so much for joining, Ash. Again, I'm going to update my YouTube page and my Twitch page. I'm on both, same name, Mechanical Poetry. It'll be 4 p.m. Mountain Time on Saturdays. So if you wanted to join in on Twitch and or YouTube, that'd be cool. Like I've been saying at the end of my streams for quite some time now, which I probably should have been doing at the very beginning, since I have that as my saying when I go live on Twitch. Hate is of many, love is of many more. You have a good one, Ash.